My name is Sabrina Mix from Mindful Arts and Fitness, and today we're going to be practicing the Precious 8. As the name implies, it's a series of 8 small patterns focusing on flowing qi, on lengthening and strengthening your body. It's very meditative. You're thinking only of your breath, your connection to heaven and earth, and you should emerge from this practice feeling like you have more energy in your body and your mind is more refreshed. Being based on the principles of Tai Chi, we're going to focus on bringing in good energy, letting stuff go that we don't need, tension, stress, anything that holds us back. At the same time, we're getting a nice stretch in our bodies and strengthening our muscles as we go. Before we begin, I find it helpful to sort of set the tone with your mind and your body before we start our practice. So let's begin. Close your eyes and visualize where you've set yourself down. If you're not comfortable sitting on the floor right now, it's okay to sit in a chair or even to stand. Take a moment and notice how your body feels. How heavy is it? Is it growing heavier? Allow that sensation to help your muscles to relax. Notice that you have breath. Every in-breath, gather in some good energy, and every out-breath, let something leave, even if it's just body tension. Let it melt away with your out-breath. Begin circle breathing. That means breathe in through your nose. Let that feeling of air passing through your nose wash over the top of your head, down your spine, inflating your belly, and then use your abdominal muscles, squeeze the air out the front of your body, out of your mouth. Allow your tongue to rest gently on the top of your mouth or the back of your tongue. The top of your mouth or the back of your teeth. Just completing a circle. Keep that going. Nice circle breathing. Think about having longer out breaths than in breaths. It just helps you to not hyperventilate. Maybe add a count in your mind once or twice. In breath to a count of 6. Hold for 1 count. And out breath for a count of 7 or 8. Every time you breathe, think about it as a cycle. Bringing in good oxygen, washing through your body, letting things go on your out breath. If you haven't yet, open your eyes and straighten up your back. And this time, think about with your in-breath, you're giving energy to that backbone, giving energy to your spine, lighting it up. And then on the out-breath, we're going to begin anchoring ourselves down toward the earth and stretching ourselves up toward the sky. Every in-breath, charge up your backbone. I visualize it as a lightning rod. And then when you're ready, anchor yourself down toward the earth through your tailbone and up toward the sky from the top of your head. So each breath you're stretching just a little bit taller. Get to the point where you can imagine yourself suspended between heaven and earth. Okay, let's start stretching our necks. So nice tall in breath and roll down out breath. Just let everything go. Rise up in breath. And roll down out breath. Very easy. Each time, try to hang that head a little bit lower. Each in-breath, stretch a little bit taller. Just warming up the body. This whole practice should be a movement meditation. And stop. Qi and doing a little self-care. So I'm rubbing my hands together. I may or may not make heat. What I'm trying to think about is gathering energy from all around me, from the earth, from the sky, from the air, bringing in love and joy and letting it flow right into my eyes. So cover your eyes and then open your eyes and breathe. Imagine that energy flowing down your optic nerve, charging up your tired eyes. Keep breathing. Keep cycling through. Every in-breath gathering. Every out-breath, let something go. Drop your hands. Start again. I like to think about my arms and legs as being hollow. They're just conduits for this nice energy that's going to flow through them and into my ears. Keep breathing. I know you couldn't hear that because your hands were on your ears, but keep breathing. Your breath is always flowing. Let's do our neck and our throat. At any point, close your eyes if you want to focus more on feeding yourself this good chi, good thoughts. Okay, keep it going. We're going to do our heart. At this point, it might be tempting to just take from your arms and your hands, but don't do that. Remember, you're taking from the greater world around you. Let it flow through you. Next, we'll do our belly. Give some heat, some light, some love, some good energy to our bellies. Keep your breath flowing. Think of it as like a cleanse. You're just refreshing yourself. Good air, good energy, packing it into every cell in your body till there's no room for anything that doesn't help you. No room for the dark stuff. Let it go. We're doing our kidneys. Charging up our batteries. And lastly, we're just going to do the very end of our spine. Give some energy to your tailbone. Okay, and we're going to wake up our feet. Make circles with your ankles, both directions. We will soon be standing on these feet a lot. Toes back and forth. Remember, you're still breathing. Massage your foot, get all those acupuncture points, acupressure points. Down on your foot. And give your leg a hug. Sitting up nice and tall. Okay, let's do the other foot. Circles. Both ways. Toes back and forth. Massage your foot. Give it a hug. Okay, and we'll just stretch out our back a little bit. So cross one leg over the other. And we're getting a 2-for-1 deal here. I'm going to be stretching my leg at the same time. So pull those toes back. Roll your hips forward, shoulders back and down. Lift nice and tall. Breathe in. And twist. Breathe out. Lift nice and tall with your head above your shoulders. Lift through your core from your tailbone all the way up. And twist more. Open your eyes nice and wide and stretch them. Roll them around. Look side to side. Up and down. One more in-breath. Lift. And come back. Keep your leg where it is. We'll go the other way. Get your shoulders back. Roll your hips forward if they've slacked back. In breath, tall. And turn, out breath. In breath, lift from your tailbone through your core all the way through the top of your head. Breathe out, twist. Stretch your eyes. Roll them around, side to side, up and down. One more in breath. And back. Swap the legs so we're even. Set, set, shoulders, lift, breathe in. Turn, breathe out. Lift, breathe in. Turn, breathe out. Stretch your eyes. One more lifting in breath. And back. Other side, lift. Turn, breathe out. Rise up, in breath. Turn, breathe out, stretch your eyes nice and wide, make circles, look up and down, side to side. In breath and back. Okay, let's work our way up to standing. We're going to be alternating between standing up nice and tall and sitting down just a little bit, straightening that part of our spine. Okay, standing in our mountain stance with our roots, start shifting your weight from side to side. Just gently. Your arms are nice and relaxed, and that's why they're moving. They're moving because of the motion of your hips. Bend one knee and then the other. And because I'm sitting down just a little bit, I'm visualizing I'm sitting on a nice swivel stool, and my hips are moving in sort of a semicircle shape. Okay, let's start with owl gazes backwards. We're going to be stretching our neck. So lift up nice and tall with an in-breath. Sit down a little bit. Breathe out and gaze to your left. Breathe in, rise tall. Keep your shoulders down. Breathe out, twist more. Roll your eyes around. Give them a good stretch. One more lifting in breath. Feel that stretch through your whole spine. And then breathe out, return to the center. Tall, breathe in. Gaze to the right, breathe out. Rise up, breathe in. Twist a little more, breathe out. Big eyes, roll them around, stretch them, give them a break. One more in breath. And return to start. Let's do that one more time. Lifting in breath. Sit and gaze to the left. Breathe out. Rise up. Feel that stretch all through your spine. Breathe in. Breathe out. Twist more. Stretch your eyes. One more lifting breath. And return to the start. Tall. Breathe out. Gaze to the right. Breathe in. Rise tall. Breathe out, twist more, stretch your eyes. One more in breath. And back. Good for your feet. If you're counting our series, that was number 1. You don't have to go in the same order that I go in, but this is usually how I do it. Growing it, growing it, growing it. Gather a little energy and feed your kidneys. We're going to do some hip circles. That's number 2. So think about having a little hula hoop around your hips. And we're going to try to touch all parts of that hula hoop. Let's start it a little easier first. Hands where your hips bend. Hips are forward, shoulders are back. Hips to the side, shoulders to the other side. Hips to the back, shoulders forward. Keep it going. Now let's make it rounder. Make a circle. If your body lets you, each circle is a little bit larger than the last one. We're going 4 times each direction. And breathe a full breath for each circle. When I get to the top here, I'm going to switch directions. Breathing halfway around so I can breathe out halfway around. Breathing in halfway around so I can breathe out the other half. One more. Good. Relax your feet. Okay, let's do draw the bow. Relax your shoulders back and down. Lift your arms. Your elbows have little weights on them. They're down. One hand makes a pointer finger, and the other hand makes a fist. And we're going to pretend like we're really drawing a bow with a string. Only I'm keeping this finger up as much as possible. I'm going to be using these muscles. I'm going to be stretching all this in here. And this draws underneath my armpits. I'm not lifting this into my ear. Keeping this down. Thinking about my elbow is pulling to one wall and my palm is pulling to the other. So let's try it. Mountain stance, find your roots. In breath, tall. Make a pointer finger, make a fist. Look to the side, draw the bow, breathe out. Breathe in, stretch it more. Breathe out, bring it back. I'm bringing it to the outside. You don't need to, but it reminds me that the next hand comes up and make a fist with that outside hand. In breath, draw the bow, out breath. In breath, reach. And stand up, come back. So I'm using my legs. I'm keeping them alive. Tall. And sink, draw the bow. If you were outside, you'd be looking farther and farther. We're inside, draw the bow, breathe in. So we need to imagine what's beyond our walls. Tall. And breathe out, draw the bow, bend your knees. Breathe in, draw it tighter. And back. Another one, tall, in breath. Bend your knees, draw the bow. As you breathe in and tighten your bow, think about tightening your core and tightening your pelvic floor. Stand up, return. In breath. Draw the bow, out breath. Reach. And back. Come to the middle, float down. So traditionally, you do 8 of everything. It's 8 of 8. That takes a very long time. So usually I do 4 of everything. Today we may not get to that because I just want to make sure you understand how to do these, and then you can increase your number as desired. Okay, empty the vessel. We're only going to the front. Sometimes we go to the corners. We'll get fancy later. In breath, nice and tall. And tuck your chin, roll down. If your lower back is tight, use your hands for support and roll down along your legs. Out breath. Hang there, gather in some air, expand your back. And let everything go. Empty the vessel. Bend your knees, rise up, in breath. Roll your shoulders back, bring your shoulder blades together and pretend you're pushing onto the floor with your hands. Breathe out. That's sink. Tall, breathe in. Tuck your chin, roll down, breathe out. Expand, breathe in. Let it go, breathe out, empty the vessel. Bend your knees, rise up, in breath. Roll back, sink, out breath. Tall, in breath. Tuck and roll, out breath. Breathe in, expand. Let it go, empty the vessel. Bend your knees, rise up, breathe in. And roll back, sink. Let's add one more. Tall. And breathe out. Expand, breathe in. Let it go, empty the vessel, let your stress go, let your tension go, let your air go. Bend your knees, rise up, inflate. And roll back, sink. Relax, free your feet. Let all the blood return to normal. Only it's charged up. Lots of oxygen flowing through your system. Okay, let's do punching. This is qigong punching. It's a little bit different than hardstyle punching. We're gonna make the fist the same way though. So curl your fingers in, thumb over the top, right? Curl your fingers in, thumb over the top. Thumb never goes on the inside. You could break your thumb. When you do a punch, it's turned over and this is nice and flat. And you're aiming with these knuckles. We're gonna aim for our own head. Okay, when you start a punch, it's upside down on your sides. It turns at the very end and bring it back. Turns right there at the top. That way you're not doing this. Okay? Yes, many years of martial arts. Okay, let's do this in a horse stance, a bigger stance. So this is going to be 1, 2 shoulder widths apart, sitting down behind you, hands at your side. Breathe in and out. Breathe in, gather, and out. Visualize farther and farther away from you. In breath and out. As if you were in the forest, in breath and out. And each time you're picking a farther and farther away tree. Breathe in and out. In and out. One more set. You can vary the speed of this depending on your mood, how much energy you want. So sometimes I go very fast and very slow. Or sometimes the whole thing is really slow. I need more time to wake up. Your choice. Okay, let's do turning the sky pose. I'm still in my rooted stance. Tuck your hips a little bit. Breathe in, gather some energy. Bend your knees, push away like you're pushing against 2 walls. Breathe out. Roll your shoulders back and lift those hands. So the reason why I really roll my shoulders back is so that I can't bring them up to my ears. If they're forward, I can really bring them up to my ears. The more back they are, the harder it is to get that into my neck. This exercise works on stretching all this in here. So drop your hands for a moment. And it stretches all this in here. So if stretching to infinity here does that for you, that's great. For me, I need to roll those hands down just a little bit to get that stretch in there. But sometimes these get too tired, so I need to drop it. It is okay to have your hands all the way down here when you do this. Just extend your fingers more. You'll get the stretch in here. Okay, now let's go. In, out. Roll the shoulders back. Breathe in and extend. Breathe out and turn to the corners. Breathe in and extend. Breathe out and turn more. Breathe in and extend. Breathe out, return to the front. Breathe in, stretch. Breathe out, turn to the corners. Breathe in, stretch. Breathe out, turn. Breathe in, stretch. And come back. Float your hands down, standing up. You need to be mindful of your knees with this. Your knees are meant to only go in a forward direction. They're not meant to bend in sideways. So when you're practicing this, in order to keep your knees going forward, you're going to have to shift your weight to one foot or the other, just slightly, to keep those knees forward. So let's do this one more time. Pay a little attention to what your legs are doing. In breath. Push away, out breath. Palms up, in breath. Turn, out breath. Reach, in breath. Turn, out breath. Reach, in breath. Return to start. In breath. Turn, out breath. In breath. Turn, out breath. In breath. And return to start. Float your hands down. Okay, we have 2 left for our series of 8. And this one is called Heaven and Earth, or Separate Heaven and Earth. Reaching for heaven and earth. Pretend that you're holding a nice ball of energy, a ball of chi, and I like to think of this as like taffy. So I can compress it and I can stretch it out, but it never leaves, right? It changes shape, but it's always there. So start with your rooted feet. Sit down a little bit, shoulders back and down. Relax your belly, you're using that for breathing. One hand holds the ball underneath, the other hand holds it on top. I'm going to turn sideways so you can see what I'm doing. They are above each other, but as I bring things closer, I'm going to separate them like they're 2 elevators passing right by each other. Top one now goes down, the bottom one comes up. This gets uncomfortable. I need to turn my palm over, so now my thumb is facing in front, away from me, and keep stretching. So now I have one hand very low and one hand very high. The low hand I'm going to follow with my face and turn to the side, breathing out. Breathe in and stretch even more toward heaven and earth. And then straighten your legs, relax, then breathe out and grab that ball. Compress it, compress it, compress it, compress it, compress it. Let those pass. Bend your knees. Breathe in, breathe in, breathe in, breathe in, breathe in. Turn the top hand. Breathe in, breathe in, breathe in, breathe in, breathe in. That's it. I can't breathe in anymore. Float that bottom hand out. Follow with your head. Breathe out. Breathe in, stretch more, side stretch. And breathe out. Straighten your legs, squash the ball, push your shoulder down. When they pass, breathe in, bend your knees. Turn the top hand over. Float. Breathe in, stretch. Straighten your legs, breathe out, squash that ball. Breathe out, breathe out, breathe out, breathe out, breathe out, breathe out. As they pass, bend your knees, breathe in, breathe in, breathe in, breathe in, breathe in. Turn the top hand. And bottom hand floats across. I feel like I'm just caressing the body of water and standing in a lake or an ocean, floating right over the top. Breathe in, stretch more. Breathe out. In qigong, we're really working on using our core as well and tightening our pelvic floor. So as I breathe in here, I'm tightening my pelvic floor. And then relax, come back. One more, in breath. Sweep across, out breath. In breath, reach. Out breath, squash the ball. This time when I come to the middle, I'm going to end this. Turn, bend your knees, float down. Nice, for your feet. We have one more. We have our number 8. It uses the whole body, so I like to call it whole body exercise. Reaching up nice and tall. And I'm thinking about, I have roots down into the earth through my legs, and I'm reaching up with the top of my head and my hands nice and tall. I am going to then take this stretch and bring it to the wall. Now, if your lower back is bothering you at any point, bend your knees a little, collapse down, and just roll down and hang there, and you'll be ready for the next part of it. However, if you can, when you're up to it, I'm reaching nice and tall, palms are facing each other, and then I reach to the wall, bending where my hips bend, and then I reach to the floor. And I hang out here and I breathe normally, and I'm relaxing the back of my legs, so I'm just patting them and rubbing them, encouraging that flow of energy and that circulation. And then hang there. And if your hands can touch the ground, think about having your palms up. And deep breathe, expand your back. And let stuff go. Take another deep breath. And let stuff go. And then when you rise up, you're going to think about gathering energy from the earth, bring it up through the insides of your feet, through your legs, around your knees, around your thighs, to your kidneys. Reach back, breathe out. Whether you're a believer in qi or not, it's a great meditation. You cannot think about other things while you're thinking about that. And I do think it helps you with your form, keeping nice and tall, stretched out, and go. Breathe normally. Relax your legs, and then hang there. Deep breath in, long out breath. Bend your knees, rise up, breathe in. Flow that energy around your knees, around your hips, to your kidneys. Lean back, breathe out. Again, reach in breath. And reach, 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 reach. That's an out breath. Relax, normal breathing. Hang there. Breathe. Expand your back and let things go. Bend your knees, rise up, breathe in. And out breath. breath in. Let it go. Bend your knees, rise up, breathe in. Lean back, breathe out. Woo. Neutral position. How do you feel? Any better than you felt a few minutes ago? So that is one of our series of Tai Chi movements, qigong, Precious 8. Thank you.